So a couple days ago, I was over hanging out with my friend Dana, and he actually has a 2017 GTR. Definitely go check out his channel. It'll be linked at the top of the description. But anyways, I was hanging out with him, and he was like, hey, you should put this Octane Booster in your car. It might help with your performance a bit, especially with the tune. So I'm like, okay, sure, why the hell not? So we put a 32-ounce bottle of Octane Booster from Torco in my gas tank. And at the time, my gas tank was pretty much completely full. So in the back of my mind, I was like, I mean, this should work, right? I mean, I trust Dana. He knows what he's talking about, but I don't know. Maybe something might go wrong with this, so I don't know. So we were out having some fun, driving around a lot, and on my way home, the car had probably been running for quite a while. It was pretty heat soaked. When I was a couple miles from my home, the cruise control randomly just went out for no apparent reason. So I'm like, okay, that's strange. The car's never done that before. So I tried to turn it back on. It wouldn't turn back on. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's just like an electrical fluke or something. So I get off the highway and I go to make the right turn to head back towards my house. And I realize I have like no power right now. Like I can't accelerate at all. So this car has gone into what's called limp home mode once before, and that was last summer when I actually had a busted hose. And so I thought, okay, it's probably going in the limp home mode. It's not used to this Octane Booster that's been mixed in with the gasoline, so it's messing with the ECU. So I got home, I texted Dana, I'm like, dude, what the hell, you messed up my car, like half messing with him. And he's like, oh, just try disconnecting your battery and reconnecting it to reset the ECU. And by the way, when this happened, I did not have any check engine light at all. So I did that, and sure enough, I let the car cool off a bit because again, it wasn't overheating or anything, but it was pretty heat soaked. So I let the car cool off. I waited about 3 or 4 hours, and I took the car back out, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see if this makes a difference at all, if it actually fixed it. So I was a bit nervous because if that didn't fix it, well then I'd probably just have to wait until I ran out of gas, which would probably be about a week because I don't really drive that much most of the time, and I had a pretty full tank, and you can't really siphon gas anymore. So I turned it back on, I backed out of the driveway. Sure enough, I had all my power again, so that was a big sigh of relief. And then I got out onto the road, I'm like, well, you know, I have to go run a couple errands, so why not like take a longer route there, have a little bit of fun. So with the amount of Octane Booster that was in there, it was probably running about like 95 octane, that's what Dana thought, so probably about that. So not like super high, but I mean, this Torco stuff is pretty expensive, and it's used usually only on race days, but I mean, we thought we'd try it out just for the hell of it. So I'm like, holy shit, this car has never acted this way before. Like, it pulls harder than it ever has before. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this Octane Booster actually isn't such a bad thing. So I drove around probably another 15-20 minutes just having fun. And I mean, the car drove perfectly fine. It pulled harder than it ever has before. It's been a couple days since then, and I can see the effects are slowly starting to wear off. But I mean, the torque is what I can really tell the difference. Like at the low end, you can feel it just pulling you. Like it hooks and it goes. It's really impressive. So I'll show you, see if we can replicate it here. Hopefully the GoPro angle I have set up will do it justice. So I don't know how well you could see that, but even in first and second gear, the boost gauge was going completely into the red, so I could feel that it was pulling definitely a lot harder. Let's do one more here just for the fun of it. You can just feel the difference in torque. For those of you that watched my tune video, you probably remember me saying that the car does not feel much different at lower speeds, and you can tell the difference on the highway. Well, with this Octane Booster, it pretty much brings up the lower speed performance to on par with the highway speed performance. So at lower speeds, it's definitely got a lot more pep in it, I guess would be a good word to say it. I mean, it feels like it's got more to give now. So would I suggest putting Octane Booster in your Saab, or any car for that matter? Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is specifically for race days. It's usually meant for that when you're pushing the car pretty hard. It's to help get the most performance out of your car possible, because the engine will be burning octane quicker. So with that being said, I probably would not recommend this for you, but if you would like to try it, I will certainly put a link to the Amazon page where Dana bought this from in the description, because it's definitely fun, and I'm going to be a little bit sad when I have to fill up my gas tank here probably in the next 2 or 3 days. It is pretty pricey though, about $23 for 32 ounces of it, which is basically all that I put in a nearly full tank of gas. So with this Octane Booster, I'll just go into a little bit more detail about it real quick. You can pretty much perfectly control the octane level that you want in your engine, because the more of it you put in, the higher octane is going to be, basically. So I normally run premium or 91 gas. So with that Octane Booster, again, it's guesstimated that it was around 95 octane is what I'm running currently. So this is not something that you should daily drive with your car, because the fuel injectors can start to turn orange or show the effects of the manganese that's in this Octane Booster. So it hasn't really been proven to cause any issues to your car, but it can certainly cause issues, so don't think that it won't. Oh, that torque! I can just feel it pulling and pulling and pulling, and it doesn't want to stop all the way through the power band. Usually it dies off at like 4,500, but it just keeps going. It's such a different car with that booster. I mean, it really is. Just a quick update from something fun that we tried that almost caused a serious problem with my car, but ended up being pretty damn fun. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next video.